the shot as Owens comes down with the board, Taylor Owens, and the jump ball called. It'll go to Marion. We've seen plenty of jump balls this half, both teams being very
getting after it.
Aggressive defensively. There's a 3 missed rebound on the floor, and it's picked up by Owens. They've got 20 seconds as they try to get it in transition on this end. Owens goes by her defender, left hand missed, and it got batted back out to Marion. That's Audrey Moss that came down with it. Now Jennings will set up the offense for the final 7 seconds and miss the front end. Billings gets the offensive board, misses, and the ball's underneath, and nobody gets anything out of that. It's a couple of misses at point-blank range, and the Cats will head into the locker room leading 28.
Well, see, even in that scenario, you don't want to go halftime. Our girls, I believe, we couldn't really rebound. We couldn't really be aggressive there because they knew the time. Didn't want to give them an easy basket because they're in double bonus, but also they want to get another foul right before halftime.
And look at the difference there in scoring from the first quarter to the second. Virginia High had 21-7 lead at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, they were outscored 9-7. So we've seen a little bit of a slowdown. But like you said, those fouls and having to make a lot of substitutions. A lot of girls got to play in that first half, too.
They did. And it helps in the long run because they'll get some minutes. And, you know, right now, like, that's part of it. If we can get a big lead and get these girls and get some varsity minutes in. So down the road when we need them in there, because of foul trouble or you know, don't want to say anything, but somebody gets sick or something, that they have those minutes and they're prepared to make, you know, play for us. But it's huge when you get those fouls called. Like at one end, there's a lot of contact down there, and we can't seem to get that call.
Yeah, well, there's been some physical play, and it's been kind of here and there as far as when a whistle gets called, and that's been both ways too, not just for the Bearcats in general. Again, we welcome you to the Bearcat halftime report here from Virginia High School. It's a Lady Cats lead the Marion Scarlet Hurricanes 28-16. Again, the Cats 4-0 in the Southwest District, looking to hold on to this one and continue the streak. They'll play tomorrow night against Tennessee High, or tomorrow evening against Tennessee High. That game time's been moved so many times, I forget. So it's pretty early start time for them tomorrow afternoon. I can't remember when was the time it's going to start tomorrow.
Well,
on the last text I got, it said, what was the last? Mr. Harper was here, he could tell us.
Right, I'm not sure. I'm with you. The last time I saw this, we were supposed to play would be like 6:30, so it'd be interesting. You know, so Saturday games are very interesting because, you know, for as a coach, you know, you worry about getting your kids out of rhythm. You know, when you play during the week, your kids are in school. For the most part, they're in school all day. And then, you know, after school, they have their pregame meal. And then, you know, either you get on the bus and go to the other school or you stay here and you have shoot around and get ready for a game. Saturday, it makes it a little bit different. They get to sleep in a little bit and, you know, come in and shoot around a little bit. But you kind of have like that all day waiting around the play.
I believe tomorrow JV starts at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, well, that's correct.
One
yes.
gym, so
yes. JV starts at 2, so it just kind of depends on when that ends.
And we'll be broadcasting that one from Tennessee High School. Again, we'll be doing both the varsity games. So I guess the girls' varsity probably get going, around 5:36?
I would say about that time, but you never know. It depends on how long the games take.
Yeah, these JV games, you never know. Today, I mean, we played all four games are being played upstairs today at Virginia High, and we started a little bit early, and that's rare. Usually we get some foul trouble early or, you know, sometimes some high-scoring games with a lot of fouls. They can go on and on and on. And, Coach, let's go ahead and talk about it real quick. 28-16 lead for the Cats. What are some of the trends you saw there in the first half?
Well, I mean, one thing I talked about, we did get off to an early start, a great start. And Taylor, she continues. She has the hot hand, and we were trying to give her the ball and things like that. Marion, like I said before, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I do believe they struggle shooting the ball from the field. And for them to stay with us, they're going to have to get the ball down low and try to get those layups, try to get those foul calls so they can go to the free throw line. And that's going to how they can stay with us. If it becomes like a three-point contest, I don't think they can hang with us.
And we saw the Cats heated up early from three, but since then they've cooled off. A couple of misses. I know we have at least 4 three-point shots made. I know Taylor made 3 and Jada made 1. I don't know any others that have fell in, but Taylor Owens has 13 points so far tonight. That leads the Bearcats. I think Kerrigan Bailey's right behind her, though, with 11 or 12. So we've seen a good start from 2 of the post players And really, Taylor's kind of a stretch kind of player. She can play really anywhere for that matter, and that really adds to everything.
She's what we refer to in football as like that rover player, like that linebacker / safety type player.
Yeah, she doesn't really have to be stuck in one.
No.
She can definitely do a lot of things on the floor. And let's go ahead and talk about it real quick. Let's say you're in that Marion locker room right now, some adjustments they need to make to stay in this.
Well, as a coach, I look up at the scoreboard, and I tell them, like, girls, it's 28-16. They get off to that hot start, and like you said, we were up by 16. Now we've gotten the lead down to 12. Now, also, I would tell them that some of their players are in foul. They got 2 fouls, multiple fouls. Let's try to get the fouls. Let's stay with it. They're a young group. Let's go out there and let's. In their minds, they are the underdogs. Let's go out there and shock some people. Let's hang with them. Let's not just get on the get out here and just let them run away with this game.
Yeah, this is a Marion team that's coming off a 67-55 loss to Tazewell. Billings, though, and that one had 19 points, and Jennings had 14 in their last game. So we'll see how they do. Okay, now you're Coach Timmons. You come in the locker room. You got a couple of foul issues going into halftime. A couple of players with 2 fouls apiece. I know Amaya Lee, one of them, Allie Sidnor, the other. That's 2 of your main ball handlers, at least 2 of the primary ones. So what do you think Coach Timmons said going into halftime with a 12-point lead?
I'll tell you exactly what he said. I know Coach Timmons, and he's not going to tell them to back off. He's going to tell them to play smart, though. He's going to tell them, don't go, if you can get the steal, go for it, but don't go through them. And that's, a couple of times we've done that tonight. But he's going to tell them to keep playing. Don't worry about the foul calls. And if they get in foul trouble, he's going to take them out. But like I said, he's not going to tell them to back off. So the biggest thing for us is to play smart in the second half and make those easy buckets.
We'll see how the Cats can do. We'll continue the halftime show right after this. When we get back, we'll talk about the next game, and then we'll go to our sponsor mentions and talk a little bit about college basketball. Coach Sidnor's got on a UVA shirt, so we might talk a little bit of basketball in just a bit. Let's take a quick commercial break. 28-16, Cats lead Marion. We'll be right back.
They'll challenge your authority because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, and in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
It's 6:42 p.m. Time for Steve Plotto and his son Dylan to do the dishes. They talk about everything from the yuckiness of girls to the awesomeness of his soccer team. Sometimes they don't talk at all. Then, hey! The dreaded splash fight. It's Dad o'clock, and it's the best time of the day. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You're bringing your daughter to her favorite pop star's concert. Do you A, wear earplugs?
Isn't this fun, Dad?
I have a soft pretzel.
B, remember the moment with matching concert t-shirts.
That's going to be $180.
Or we can just take a photo.
C, show her how you used to do concerts.
We're going crowd surfing.
I can't. He's too heavy. Oh, my God. Ah.
Or D, just roll with it.
Woo! Justin! Look at us! We're over here!
Justin! OMG! He just looked... I love you, Justin!
You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on Spreaker Radio, the official internet home of Virginia High Athletics. Welcome back to the Bearcat halftime report. Dylan Hutton along with Coach Sidnor, about a minute and 10 seconds away from getting this underway. We might go to the basketball college talk for halftime of the boys game. That way we'll keep people on the line. We got some big games. We got the SEC Big 12 Challenge coming up tomorrow. A couple of big ACC games going on. So it'll be an interesting discussion, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Again, tonight's game brought to you by State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol. Also BSN Sports in Bristol. We're 40 seconds away from getting the second half back and up and going. 28-16, the Lady Cats lead. Coach, we've talked about what the teams are wanting to do, what each coach we think was saying at half. What do you expect in the second half, though?
To be honest with you, I expect us to come out aggressive like we did in the first quarter. I expect Marion to try to draw some fouls, try to get to the free throw line and get us in foul trouble, get some of our more skilled girls on the bench, and try to get some of those buckets down low. That's what I expect. So, like I said, I know Coach Tim as well. He'll come out here. He's going to let our girls play aggressive.
We've seen the green light from three so far, too, as we said there. Right there just a few minutes ago about the threes. They haven't been dropping lately for the Cats, but they're getting good, wide-open looks, and we'll see. And, again, it'll be interesting to see here in just a second about how the foul issue sort of plays out and how Coach Timmons deals with it if it does come.
Now, I wonder will Marion try to come out and press early again? It didn't work too well for them that first quarter. I just kind of wonder will they come out again, just kind of change the pace a little bit.
And you always say press a pressing team. It always makes them uncomfortable. You ought to think it'd be the opposite, but evidently not, as Sidnor gets it to start. And a turnover there as they went to a zone look to start it out. Turnover goes as Jennings comes up with it, just trying to get it in the post there to Bailey and couldn't get it to her. And Stifle on the right wing gets it inside. Right-hand lay-in from Billings, and she got it.
Exactly what I said they'll try to do, get down low.
Billings only had 5 in the first half. Now she has 7. Again, coming off a good outing where she had 19 points. Ball loose there for a second. Owens picks it up a long 2. Missed off the front. The board goes to Marion as Moss comes down with the freshman in the post. Again, a lot of potential on this Marion team. As you've said a couple of times how scrappy they are, and you can definitely see it. They've hung in there. It's a 10-point game right now with 7 minutes to go in the third.
Like I said, when you're young, again, it's trying to get the call there.
Ball was loose there for a second as they picked it up. Marion did miss the shot. Bailey nearly got the rebound, and the Cats are taking it in transition this way. Sidnor, right-hand lay-in, misses short, and a tie-up goes. Looks like it's going to go to Virginia High down on this end.
You have to make
or
those.
Marion
you have to finish those.
So Marion will stay down on the left side as we're looking back toward the benches here in the Bearcat Den. 28-18 as Virginia High trying to put the pressure on. And Campbell comes up with a steal, and here they go in transition. Left hand contact, but no foul, and she missed it strong, and Marion bats it back to themselves.
But that's huge there. I mean, I understand that's a miss, but it's contested. But you got to get that call. There's a lot of contact there.
3 taken, top of the key, and she sunk it. That was wide open look for Jennings.
And see, like I said, a big league, and next thing you know, it's down to a single-digit lead now.
7 points, 28-21. 3-pointer from the right wing. Campbell comes up short. Bailey drags down the board, puts it back up and in. She got it, and a timeout called by Virginia High. And Coach Tim is not happy with him, shouting really to him. He's not happy about the opening of this.
Well, no, he's not happy.
Period.
He's not happy because, like I said, one of the keys I talked about staying engaged. At times we
you think it's still on this end, that 3 uncontested.
We just kind of get lackadaisical. We just kind of like the other team starts coming back a little bit, and we just kind of start jacking up shots and just kind of just sitting around, and then eventually we kind of get engaged again. And that's what he's yelling about.
What you see a lot of times with pressing teams, once a team gets past half court, sometimes you see them kind of go a little bit looser on the defensive side instead of really, and in reality, you got to play even harder what you get on this end, because usually if they broke the press that quickly, they're going to be in transition trying to push it. But the thing is, it just speeds you up so much. But right there, Marion was able to get a couple of passes and get an open look, and that's really disappointing whenever you're not really – you're playing to get the turnover early in the possession, but whenever you give up an easy shot right there in the middle of the possession, of course, without a shot clock, it really doesn't matter. But
I tell you what, Marion, as they, watching them come out, I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're not going to press. They're going to try to stay back and try to get those easy buckets.
Virginia High gets a turnover right after the timeout. Again, the timeout was brought to you by State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol. They pressed right off the inbound after the timeout and threw it straight out of bounds. It'll be Bearcat basketball down here.